So after leaving the upper room, Jesus and his disciples, minus Judas, who's already left to betray Jesus, make their way to one of their favorite spots, an olive grove called Gethsemane. And there, Jesus leaves 8 of his disciples at a gate, takes Peter, James, and John with him a little bit further, and Jesus goes off to pray. And he prays a prayer that is famous, that many of us try to say. Often say, Father, not my will, but yours be done. His Father, take this cup from me. And a lot of times we think that means Jesus trying to dodge the crucifixion. He's trying to dodge the cross. But throughout the Old Testament, the word cup means, in a sense like this, means the cup of God's wrath. He knew the cross was before the foundation of the world, that was the design, that was the plan, that was going to be the instrument for our salvation. But what he was praying for is God's wrath would be poured out on him. That there'd be some other way besides facing God's wrath, because he knew what that meant. And so he prays this prayer once and twice, a third time, each time going back to find his disciples asleep. After the third time, he comes back and Judas is coming to betray him. The temple guard, they take him to the Sanhedrin, which was the Jewish Supreme Court. And there, before the Sanhedrin, he's put on trial. The interesting thing about that trial is it was an illegal trial. It was illegal to hold court after the sun had gone down. But the Sanhedrin, with their eyes filled with blood, wanted to get rid of Jesus. And so they broke their own rules so they could put him on trial. They eventually asked him, "Are you the Messiah? Are you the Son of God?" And Jesus said, "You have said so." They charge him with blasphemy, and because they can't execute anyone, they send him to the Romans. So they send him for Pilate. And Pilate asks him questions, and he doesn't say anything, he doesn't incriminate, he just affirms what Pilate has already said. Pilate finds no fault in him, but realizing that he's from Galilee, also realizes that Herod has jurisdiction over him as well. And so he sends him to Herod, who happens to be in town because it's Passover. He goes to Herod. Herod asks him questions, asks him to think, and Jesus just doesn't answer at all. So Herod can't find any fault in him, so he sends him back to Pilate. And the Jewish religious leaders are so filled with anger, so wanting to get rid of Jesus. Press Pilate. Pilate, not finding any fault in him, but realizing that part of the Passover ceremony that they're allowed, he would each year release one prisoner, and so he probably looks down and the prison there and finds the biggest, baddest guy there. So he pulls up a guy named Barabbas. Barabbas was charged with insurrection and rioting, and he's like, who do you guys want? Do you want Jesus, the King of the Jews, or do you want Barabbas released to you? They choose, the leaders incite the crowd to call for Barabbas' release and call for Pilate to crucify Jesus. And out of this illegal trial, Jesus is brought before the Romans. He's convicted of a crime that Pilate's not even sure of. But he's sentenced to crucifixion. All part of God's plan to redeem us back to him. That's why today is called Good Friday.